Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. I hope you're all having an amazing day. The weather here is perfect, so I hope you're getting at least a little bit of that wherever you may be. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoy the show. It definitely helps out a lot, and let's roll straight into our first story of the day. All right, some interesting new trademarks popped up from Nintendo, and they are of games that could mean something interesting. All right, let's dive in because Nintendo just trademarked Metroid Zero Mission, The Legend of Zelda The Minish Cap, Mach Rider, and Donkey Kong Country 3 Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. Now that's an eclectic assortment of games, but 3 of them are really good Game Boy Advance games. Legend of Zelda Minish Cap, Metroid Zero Mission, and DKC3, fantastic releases on the Game Boy Advance. Mach Rider, an NES game, so it kind of doesn't fit. Could this be a sign that Nintendo is getting ready to rev the engines on Game Boy Advance on Nintendo Switch Online? Well, it could be, but do know that Nintendo does love to re-up their IP and let the world know we own it. All right, so this happens frequently where Nintendo decides that they're just going to renew their trademarks and copyright and say, look, we got Mario, we got Zelda, we got Donkey Kong, Metroid, and all of that sort of thing. Now, there is some debate online because this is trademark versus copyright, and so those things are different, and maybe this means more. We're gonna have to keep our eyes peeled to see if more Game Boy stuff does start showing up, because if there is a follow-up to this trademark bundle, then maybe it does mean that GBA is coming soon, but if not, it could just be typical Nintendo stuff. The reason I chose to focus on this and bring it up is because 3 are Game Boy games, and they're Game Boy Advance games that really would be great to start with. Metroid Zero Mission is beloved, Minish Cap is beloved, and Donkey Kong Country 3, well, it's loved by me. While we're at it, let me know in the comments down below your favorite Game Boy Advance game. Out of all of them, your favorite. Minish Cap is up there. That's a really good one. I bet you the entire collection of Game Boy Advance games, all of them, could fit on this card. Because the Lexar Play card goes up to 1 terabyte, and that can store so many Switch games. It is the best memory card you can feed your Switch because it's fast, it's secure, it's safe, and they get so big. Now they do have other sizes as well, so if you just need a little bit of memory, they are still the perfect go-to, and they're fantastic people who love the show. So make sure to click the link in the description down below to check out the Play card today. Every time you do, it helps support the channel, and I'm telling you, SwitchForce seal of approval, this one is the best. Now, speaking of best, Capcom's trying to be the best third party they can possibly be for Nintendo Switch. All right, this morning they had their own sort of pseudo direct for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Now that is the big, and I'm talking big expansion coming to Monster Hunter Rise this summer. We got a release date, we got a price, we got new amiibo, and we got big, bold new monsters, and the promise of free updates for this one. Capcom has crushed it with the base game for Monster Hunter Rise. They crushed it with all the free updates for Monster Hunter Rise, and now they're bringing a $40 mega expansion called Sunbreak with a bunch of beefy monsters, including one who looks like a gorilla who got stuck in an ancient ruin. Like all the ruins got stuck on his face, and he looks like he's ready to ground pound his way Donkey Konga style. That dude looks mean. There's new environments, a bunch of new monsters. The game is gonna release on June the 30th, and you can buy it, like I said, for 40 bucks. They also have a nice bundle where you can get Monster Hunter Rise plus Sunbreak for $70. Remember, this isn't standalone, so you will need to have Monster Hunter Rise, but they're providing a number of different ways for you to upgrade into it, as well as a deluxe edition that comes with a whole bunch of doodads and DLC. They're also releasing 3 new amiibo, a big bad monster, another Palico, and a Palamute, so upping the amiibo ante. There's even going to be a $100 physical collector's edition if you want to hold the game in your hands, and that's going to include a steelbook, a sticker pack, all the deluxe edition content, and the Malzeno amiibo, which is the big Elder Dragon main monster, the big face of this expansion. There's actually 3 Lord monsters who are the main guys you're going after in this expansion, and they include the aforementioned Malzeno, they include Garangolm, and Lunagaron, who is a fanged wyvern that can cover its body in ice. As always, everything looks so super sick and cool with Monster Hunter, and Rise is just ridiculously good. So if you're excited for this one, it comes out in about 3 months and continues to pepper in the first half of 2022 with insane Switch goodness. Insane Switch goodness. Let me know in the comments down below if you plan to pick up Sunbreak or if this is generating interest for you to get into Monster Hunter Rise from the beginning. Do note that you will have to basically beat the game to access Sunbreak. They say that you will need to have cleared 7-star quest Serpent Goddess of Thunder, which is the real ending that arrived in post-launch update. So you really do have to push all the way through Rise to get to Sunbreak, but based on those trailers and gameplay, it sure looks like it's gonna be worth it. Remember when we found out that the 3DS and Wii U eShops are gonna be shutting down? That was a sad day. So many digital games turning to dust. But Capcom has said, wait, there's still a little bit of time, and they're putting on a huge sale of their top 3DS titles for uber cheap. So you can grab a bunch of stuff from as low as $199 up to $11.99, and that's for the entire Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy. You got Mega Man, Monster Hunter, Phoenix Wright, Resident Evil, and Street Fighter, all on 3DS eShop, all on super sale, all super cheap. If you do want to grab some games before it goes goodnight, Square Enix has put some on sale as well, and I bet we see even more games go on sale to try and one, get you the games, and two, make a little coin before the eShop does shut down. Just wanted to point it out in case anyone was looking to up their 3DS arsenal. This is a good opportunity, and I'm gonna recommend Resident Evil Revelations for $1.99. $2 for a really fun Resident Evil that was made for 3DS. Yeah, it's not Switch, but it's a cool one to get. All right, gather around because we got to talk about something sort of serious and potentially dicey. All right, I love Nintendo Switch so much. I am first and foremost a Nintendo gamer. Been that way since I was a pipsqueak, since I was super small. My uncle gave me his NES. I put my X-Men Beast sticker on the front, kind of regret that because it left a whole lot of aftergoo. But I've become a Nintendo faithful from a very young age. So I love the Switch, and I played so much Switch these last 5.5 years. Lately though, I've been dipping a lot into other platforms. I've been playing a bunch of Elden Ring, Horizon Forbidden West, Ghostwire Tokyo, and I'm soon gonna be playing Borderlands Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I'm really, really loving my time elsewhere. And one of the big reasons is the beautiful graphics. And let me tell you, it has become harder and harder to go back and forth between, say, a PlayStation 5 and a Nintendo Switch. Now, I know that they're very different systems and they're doing very different things, and they're both totally worthy. In fact, the Switch has way more better top-tier games, a huge catalog, and so many sales. But I think in 2022, guys, I'm starting to grow tired of the Switch graphics. And I almost feel bad saying it because I know some of you will interpret this like, oh my gosh, Zach is falling out of love with the Switch. He doesn't like it. He's saying it's not good enough. Graphics aren't everything. I'm not really saying that. I'm just saying I think it's time. I think we're at a point where the Switch graphics, which were old when they initially released, are just getting really gray. It's like the hair is just no, you're gonna have to get it dyed if you wanna hide because it's showing. The age is showing. And we've seen that maybe Nintendo is looking to include AMD's FSR technology in their upcoming games. Remember, we saw it in the Nintendo Switch Sports beta, where this would be sort of like the DLSS, where they can upgrade the graphics through an algorithm. And maybe they're using that for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Breath of the Wild 2, Bayonetta 3. I sure hope they are. In fact, I sure hope that they're working on a system with really boosted graphics. A lot of talk lately about Switch Pro coming back. When's it gonna release? I know we kind of hate that rumor mill, but I'm ready for it. I really want Nintendo to come closer to their counterparts. Monster Hunter Rise is a great example. I think that's maybe the best graphics natively on the Switch for a game made for Switch. It looks fine, it looks good, it looks great even if you only play the Switch. But coming back from Horizon Forbidden West and Elden Ring, it's a little bit tough. I was playing Chocobo GP over the weekend, and man, and look, Mario Kart 8 is getting DLC. I'm super excited for that, beyond excited, you don't even know. It's my favorite Nintendo game of the last decade. They're skimping on the graphics, and they don't have really much room to skimp. This is not a system you can skimp on, and I don't know if any of you agree with me, but I'm really feeling like the teeth are getting long. That expression, long in the tooth, I don't even know where that comes from, but these are buck teeth like Bugs Bunny at this point. There are some games that still look good, and when Nintendo does their art style, like for Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild, still chef's kiss, still looks fantastic. But I've been playing Steam Deck lately, and getting to see games look almost as good as they do on the PC is really wonderful. And it really just makes me wish that Nintendo could do more. They've done so well with software. They've done so well with fan relationship. They've done so well with evolving and standing their series so tall. Pokemon is growing up, Zelda's growing up. Everything is getting better, but the graphics still are held back. Now, Nintendo probably never will go the route of like cutting edge, super brand new, boom, 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 $500 technology, but I think it's time that they did at least move more in that direction. This is the one area of a Nintendo system that could be super improved and I think would make a super difference. Now, some would disagree because 40 million copies of Mario Kart and 40 million copies of Animal Crossing and millions of copies of many other million sellers say otherwise. They say graphics don't really matter. And they're kind of right. At the end of the day, gameplay is king. And that's why Nintendo is king for me, because I love gameplay. Hands on the controller experience, that's what I play for. I'm picking up Monster Hunter Rise because it feels good to fly through the air on the wire bug and roll around on my puppy dog and battle those big monsters. I'm not playing it because it's, the prettiest thing to look at. But it's hard to look at really pretty things and go back to the Switch, so I'm just ready for it. I'm ready for the AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution to kick in later this fall. I'm ready for Nintendo to introduce an iteration or a new Switch or a new model that can showcase, hey, we can do upscaled 4K. We can make our games look crispy. There is so much that the Switch does so right. But I gotta be honest, I don't like feeling that I'm stepping back 2 full generations. Visually, when I pick up my Switch, like I'm going back in time a decade. They want the Switch to last for a decade. I don't know if I can stomach these graphics for a decade. Outside of the art-styled, enhanced games Nintendo puts out, it's gonna be a struggle. Do you guys think that Nintendo really needs to speed up on the graphic improvement front? Do you think it's time they fast-track something that can make for a better visual experience? Look, I know this isn't something we like to say out loud because it feels like we're criticizing the Switch, but it's okay. The comments are safe. Just secretly let me know. I won't tell anybody. Are you feeling like the graphics are getting to be old? What's never old for me though is the community polls. I love hearing from you and I post these every weeknight evening on the community tab, so make sure to subscribe and turn that notification bell on so you can be a part of the convo. Last night I asked an important question. Do you play Wordle? Because little do you know, I'm obsessed with Wordle. I love it so much. Right at midnight, I'm in on it. I love word games. I'm really a big word gamer. I like to spell stuff and anagram stuff and figure it all out. I have a pretty fast mind for this sort of thing. And so I'm with 17% playing Wordle all the time. I don't think I've missed one in months. I never post about it, so secret's ours. But hey, 67% of you have never played it, and I really think you should. It's such a good brain teaser, a fun activity. The system is so simple, it's brilliant. 6% of you love it so much you want it on Switch. There's actually knockoffs on Switch, but I'd like to see the original thing with your score progression and your streak saved on there. My streak is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Now, 10% said you used to play, which I understand. You got lots of other games to play, especially here in March. It's a busy one. Kirby coming out soon, and more Good Morning Mario tomorrow. Until that time, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, you're all special. No matter what nobody says out there, you're worth it, you're valuable, and you deserve to be here. So until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. I love you a lot. SwitchForce, out.